Hey, konnichiwa, it's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How you doing? You good? Are you Genki? Okay, we've got a review of a new number one. It is Ultimate Wolverine issue 1. Written by Chris Condon. It's got art by Alessandro Cappuchio. Colours by Brian Valenza. This is actually $5.99. Just want to point that out. $5.99 for 32 pages. Here's a quick intro to it. In order to maintain control of their corner of the Maker's world, 3 members of his council, Magik, Colossus and Omega Red, deploy their most lethal asset, the Winter Soldier. But who is the weapon behind the mask? Well, if you've seen the cover and the title, you can probably guess, can't you? This is an opening issue, so there's quite a lot of mystery in this issue. Not that much set up. We get a little bit of flashbacks to the creation of this, Ultimate Wolverine. It's good to see the characters in here. I like seeing Magik, Colossus, Omega Red. It's not really a spoiler, but you've probably heard Nightcrawler's in here as well. Great to see him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a review as usual. I'm going to show you like the first half of the book. I'm going to avoid the major spoilers in this, okay? Just let you know so. Even though I do like talk about the story, I'm going to jump and skip the big moments in the book. But yeah. It's a bit of a weird one, this. I'm going to say I've given it 2 reads. The first read I was a bit confused, wasn't sure what was going on. I liked the look of it, the style. Alessandro Cappuccio's art is very painted. It's very nice, very atmospheric. If you're familiar with it from the Moon Knight run with him and Jed MacKay, you might have seen him there. But other times I wasn't sure about the look of the actual character of Ultimate Wolverine. Anyway, that's a minor criticism. Magik, Colossus, Mystique, Nightcrawler looking very good in here, and a lot does happen. There are some great action scenes. As I say, there are some flashbacks, so we do get a bit of a background, but a lot is left open to our imagination, which I guess can be a good thing. So yeah, on the first read I wasn't sure, but on the second read I enjoyed it a lot more. I'm going to go for a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Okay, so if you're still here, please keep watching and let's have a look inside the book. A diabolical genius known as the Maker used time travel to create his ideal Earth by systematically preventing anyone from ever becoming a superhero, and by establishing a secret council of supervillains, the Maker's Council, that rules the world from the shadows. The Eurasian Republic, ruled with an iron fist by the ruthless triad of Peter Rasputin, Colossus, his sister Ilyana Rasputin, Magik, and Arkady Rossovich, Omega Red. It has become one of 2 places in the world for all known mutant activity. The trio have created Directorate X, a secret division of the government that seeks to exploit the unique genetic powers exhibited in mutant kind, headed by Dr. Alyona Prostovich. But no power exists without its checks and balances. A covert group called the Opposition arose to free mutants from experimentation and Republic control. We open with a conversation going on in a plane, near the border of the Eurasian Republic and Latveria, ER airspace. You think he can hear us? Why don't you ask? I'm not asking him nothing, creeps me out. Then we get our first look at Ultimate Wolverine. They're talking about him being part of an experiment that went wrong in North America. People say he's not a man at all. He's pieced together from corpses of dead soldiers. They also say he can't die. He always comes back, same as before. So what do you think of the art so far? Is it Alessandro Cappuchio? I'm not sure about this. I know him probably best from Moon Knight, his Moon Knight run with Jed MacKay. But there's something about this design, I don't know. Maybe it's the colours? Don't know, it looks a bit washed out. Tell you what, Ultimate Wolverine doesn't look very happy, does he? When suddenly he stands up. The guards look worried. We didn't do anything. Wolverine opens the cargo doors of the plane. Wait a minute, he doesn't have a chute. And here's the full page where we get a look of him diving out of the plane. As they said, without a parachute. Okay, then the scene shifts to inside a frozen or a snowbound forest. We see the remains of a body which appears to be still alive, crawling across the snowy floor, leaving a trail of blood. They said there'd be no survivors from the airstrike. Well, explain him. If it were up to me, we'd exterminate all these opposition dogs. The terrorists, they're just killers. Tell me, what do you do with an injured dog? You shoot it. But before we see anything, we flash back to Wolverine. He's squinting, or he seems to be, pulling an expression of distaste. Is it his memories? It must be, right? I've got to say, that's a beautiful panel. Look at that. Great painting by Cappuchio. It looks like a missile homing in on what appears to be... It's not a church, is it? You see that? A Republic missile. No, it's debris. Maybe a satellite falling from orbit. But it's coming right at us. Then there's a huge choom explosion. Take cover. The smoke from the explosion is making it hard to see. Can't see a thing. But then look at that top panel on the right there. We get the classic sound effect. Snicked. You can see the silhouette or the shadow of Wolverine behind the guard. Before they can fire the guns, shloom, they're gone. And then what do you think of this image here, this painting? Look at that, look at the blood running down his arms. It's pretty awesome. Not a lot of detail, like very dark, but still I like it. It's very, very imposing. Then we get our first look at Mystique and Nightcrawler in this world, this universe. Look at this. It's a pretty awesome image. Look at Mystique. Pretty hot there, pretty sexy, as well as toting that gun there. She looks pretty deadly. We can hear the gunfire going off in the background. We see Nightcrawler's tail there. It gives him away. Also, he's got a priest's collar by the looks of things, and it is inside a church. Soldiers, arm yourselves! But then we got Nightcrawler saying, brothers and sisters, leave now! Wait, so does he know what's coming? Does he recognise the sounds, the carnage? He's telling them to get out of there. Then we switch scenes again. We hear talk of a specimen, the specimen that survived the airstrike, and a bullet at point-blank range to the temple. He regenerated his whole body in record time and had strength enough to kill the soldier who shot him. So here we can see Magik, Colossus and Omega Red. Come, Arcady, are you jealous? No, Peter, I think I like him. Then we get some info here. Subject originates from the North American Union, like some of the other opposition forces, though it hasn't spoken since we brought it to Moscow. The doctor here says they've attempted skeletal enhancement before, as you know, and Peter replies, yes, it was a failure. We cannot permit another failure. The doctor continues, saying that what this specimen has that the other one lacked is simple. It has instinct. He's a survivor. And then we learn that it's not the only specimen they have there. Magik says, you mean the telepath? Then in the last panel we get this really cool scene of this version of Wolverine, Ultimate Wolverine, in the tank there. A nice red X carved in blood, I guess, on it. Looks like he's been punching the inside of the tank. Back to the present and we see Ultimate Wolverine cracking his own neck there. Nightcrawler says, I know that man, Raven. I know it's... Fire! So there we go. It's true. He knows who Wolverine is, or who this man is, as he says. Wolverine attacks, and we get a pretty impressive fight scene here, illustrated by Cappuchio. The whole way through this, Nightcrawler is reading the psalm. I can't remember the number, but it's the psalm that's most often used at funerals. Here's a little bit of it. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. The whole time Wolverine's just taking these guards apart. Then there's a pretty cool scene here. I kind of missed this the first time I read it. On the second read I caught it. We see here Mystique is being chased by Wolverine. Then we see Wolverine like sniffing the air for some reason. I wasn't clear why. Then suddenly Colossus is there with a huge gun facing Wolverine. Or is it? As Wolverine sniffs again. Okay, to avoid like major spoilers for this issue, I don't want to spoil it. Let me skip ahead a few pages to this scene here. I think this is back in time again. We're seeing what appears to be Logan, this version of Logan, being operated upon. They're using the pronoun it's, not even giving, he or a she. Its allegiance will be only to the Eurasian Republic. Yes, Colossus, its memories have been wiped completely. It will not even know its own name. But that instinct, its survival instinct, will remain. Its past self is dead. Logan it was once called, but no more. We've taken to calling it by its nickname. Seem fitting. Lived, died and born again as we choose. It will be cold-blooded, relentless, merciless. We call it our Winter Soldier. And then we're back in the present again. We've got Wolverine facing off against Nightcrawler. He's saying, if you are who I think you are, no, I know it's you. I don't know what they've done to you, but this isn't you. My friend, it's me, Kurt. I beg you, please. I do not wish to fight. And I think that's a good place to stop the story summary so far. There is still there's 10 pages to go. Some great action scenes and a bit of a cliffhanger. So, well, what did you think? Hope you enjoyed my review. As I say, I didn't want to spoil too much. Do pick it up if you're interested in this issue. I think you'll enjoy it. Here's a look at the cover for issue 2. Pretty awesome cover there. Look at that. That looks like Colossus reflecting Wolverine on the cover. Beautiful drawing. It's by the main artist again, Alessandro Cappuchio. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching this far, and do drop a comment. Let me know what you think or you thought of the book, and I hope to see you in a future video. This has been Gray at Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for the night. Matane.